although it's not in the sense legally binding as we think of it in the natural sense, it is still a binding agreement.
Positive role model, bringing them up the right way. But also, just because they're your children, you still have to respect them. Because if you don't, they'll grow up and not want to respect you, and they won't respect you.
My sister going to remind y'all tonight, and through God's word, it's okay to go through the storm.
That completely, he shifted my life. My life shifted, like it changed, like drastically.
So for me, when I gave my life to Christ, it's some people I had to leave behind in the world.
Come on.
Because I didn't want to be a part of that world anymore. Don't mean that I didn't love them or I didn't care about them. It's just I couldn't hang around you like that.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, sis.
You hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me, baby? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. We rolling. How you doing, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, honey. Good. Ready to get this cracking.
All righty. Welcome, people.
Yes, welcome. Who we got tuning in tonight? Y'all let us know who's tuning in, where you're tuning in from. That's a good one. So we know where y'all tuning in from.
Yes.
So me and my sister are excited about tonight. Tonight we're actually beginning we're the Unlimited You Show. We're doing a new thing where we're actually inviting authors in as well to be able to share their stories, their testimonies behind their books, what inspired them, what challenges they may have faced, all the way from Colorado. Hey, bruh. We see you, honey. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, bro, tuning in. Who else we got? Good evening, my beautiful, blessed ladies of the Most High. I know that's right, Mama. Shoot.
Hey, Mama Jackie.
Yes, Mom. Where you tuning in from? Yeah, we're super excited. I wanted to really bring this forth for authors to come on and share their stories, their testimonies. So the first author that was going to come forth is your one and only true WG me, Wakisha Greene. The Unlimited Her. Look, hold on, y'all. So, sis, let me ask you before we get started. She said, "Hey, Wichita, Kansas."
Yes.
Hey, bruh, I see you. But so since when I told you that we were getting ready to begin this, where we actually invite other authors in as well. You guys know that who don't know, I'm an author, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So my sis will be doing her thing, and I'm just gonna flow, right? But sis, when I first told you about what we were going to be doing, what was your thought about it?
Well, first of all, I knew it wasn't going to be you, but then when you say other authors, I was like, oh, okay. So that means I have to read more. So we can ask these questions, right? But I think it's a good platform to give other authors recognitions and get their name out there and talk about what their book is about so other people could be aware, because it's sometimes when you become an author, not a lot of people don't know what you do if you don't have that platform to advertise and promote your work, right? So I think it would be a great platform for them to do that.
Yeah, I think so too. And when I was because I have a part of a strong author community, sis, and you know this, and they were like a lot of people were looking for platforms and podcasts where they can come and they can share. And I'm like, Father, is that I have a podcast. I can actually help them and get them on here so they can talk about it as well, and introduce them to our viewers, our listeners, and then go from there. So, and understand this, you guys, authors, it's tough when you're literally you're writing, especially when you're doing like your memoir, book about your life, anything like that. Sometimes, well, most times it can be really, really tough to walk through that journey. You know what I'm saying? And be vulnerable to where you're sharing your testimony.
Right.
Because I'll tell folks in a minute, I say, you see his glory, but you don't know the story.
Exactly.
Right. And I had someone reach out to me this week, and they're like, girl, I finished your book and you've been through some things.
Yes,
I
Lord.
said, and yes, by the grace of God, have I, and the faithfulness and the love of God, have I been able to, endure and walk through. So that's what we're gonna, talk about tonight. And we just welcome y'all in. And I'll let my sis take it away.
All right. We're gonna get started. So, sis, I'm gonna start at the beginning, right?
Okay.
So, well, not kind of in the beginning, but almost there, right? So, in your book, you said you had moved to Colorado at 17, right? And you rededicated your life to Christ. Because at that point, you really understood what it meant for your life and your children's lives. However, at 17, you only had my nephew, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
so
I had Jeremy.
So elaborate on that a little bit more. Like what did you understand God was calling you to at 17?
Well, sis, the thing about it is, I was raised in the church, raised in the Lord, but I really didn't have a personal relationship with him, right? So, of course, we went to church and, prayer meeting, Bible study, worship service, choir rehearsal, you name it. We had all that. But growing up, I didn't understand the dynamic of what that really meant, right? Until you get older, until you start experiencing some things, until life starts lifing. And then you're like, I think I need to really see what this thing is about my relationship with God. I've been living my life or been covered by somebody else.
Right.
All my life thus far, up until I was 17, right? My mom's been covering me, my great-grandmama been covering me, and whoever else been praying for me. I had my spiritual mothers, they have been praying for me, and then now it's like, okay, Keisha, now you got to walk this thing out. Because when you go before the Lord, when you at the very end, you're going to go by yourself.
Right.
We don't go together, right? And so I was like, okay, now I'm beginning to understand that I need my own personal relationship with God, so I can know how I need to live my life. So when they did the altar call, sis, it was just the Holy Spirit just quickened on the inside of me. I had me and little Jeremy. We were sitting there, and I had been up to this point, I had been through a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had, I know you'll probably visit that with Jeremy's biological dad, but I went through some things, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm at a point where I really understand that I need my own relationship. And so the Holy Spirit just quickened on the inside of me. Go rededicate your life. I was already saved.
Right.
Mama made sure I was saved. Me and my brother and my little sister, well, she made sure we were saved. But we went and rededicated my life to God, because I understood what that meant for me and my children. Right. I said, okay, it says, train up your children in the way of the Lord, and when they're older, they will not depart from it. Okay, so what does that training look like? Now I need some help. Now I need somebody to come alongside me and really, really speak life into me and help me understand what that basic instruction before leaving earth means.
Right.
and what it's saying, the Bible, right? So yeah, that's how it started, sis, because the Holy Spirit just quickened on the inside of me. And not to mention my great grandmama, she called me and she told me, Kishi, you need to get yourself back in church. You know, she called me Kishi. And Grandpa Teddy called me Teresa. He could never say Keisha, right? And Grandma always called me Kishi. And so she was like, you need to get yourself in church, get back to church. And I'm like, Grandma, I just moved here. You have to, dang, give me some time. So we went to Grant Chapel AME Methodist Church in Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas. And so she found our sister church there in Colorado, which was Payne Chapel AME. So that's where I went. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be obedient. I'm gonna go what Grandma told me to go. So I went to Payne, and that's when really my walk began with God. Is at 17 years old, and sis have never walked away, never turned from him.
Right. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna be going back and forth. I'm just trying to build a foundation so you guys can know her background in our father, and then we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. So on November 11th of 2012, in your book you say everything made perfect sense to you, and then you came into agreement with our father for the plan and purpose he had for your life, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, what was it that he had for your life at that time, and what made sense to you?
Are you referring to when I got ordained as a minister?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Lord. November of 2012. Wow, that's been some time ago. Yeah. But that it literally made sense because I was already walking in my purposes, speaking life, encouraging. I was going through ministers in training class. I mean, I went through all that, a couple of times to make sure that he was preparing me. And I actually gave pushback, sis, because I was like, I don't need the title. I don't need that, because I'm already doing what God told me to do.
Right.
And so the way that it was explained from our apostle is, no, you're just coming in agreement with what our Father has already spoken to you. And so this is what this is. And actually it gives you access into places that you typically can't go into. You can go into the prison if you want to.
Right.
And speak to women, just different areas that you can go in and minister the gospel, the good news, if you have that. But I came in agreement, and I'm like, okay, Father, okay, whatever you want to do, my answer is yes and amen, right?
Right.
And so in that, got ordained, and it was literally a process to walk through that, and you really understand, man, and then you look back on some things that has happened in your life thus far, right? And you're like, okay, now confirmation is coming. Why first and foremost, I need to accept who God called me to be, right? Because I've already been walking in it. Now it's just, okay, Father, I just want to flow with you. I want to live in your perfect will. And so from that point on, says, life, everything just began to flow,
right.
And he just began to use me in such a mighty way because I surrendered myself.
Right.
At that point. So that's when I got ordained as a minister of the gospel. So and that's when he confirmed that I have chosen you for such a time as this. I have chosen you. I already knew you before I formed you in your womb. The womb of your mother. I knew you and I chose you. So now I just need you to come in agreement and walk it out. And terrified, sis. I didn't know what that was going to look like.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Father, really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But I came in agreement and have not looked back, sis. And I will tell you that I can never think of how my life would be if I would have did something different or chosen a different path.
Would you have chosen a different path or no?
I probably wouldn't have been as connected or serving as much in the church, the body. I mean, in the church building, I probably wouldn't have done that. But then accepting what he has said, then I went into full service mode. And then outside of the church as well, I went into full service mode. So yeah, I probably would have been nonchalant, like, okay, whoever, you put in my presence, Father, I'm gonna speak to them. And that's it.
But you needed that push.
Yep.
Yeah, I got you. Trust me. All right. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. So in your book, you was talking about you had, you was going to high school, you had different boyfriends and they disappointed you, they cheated or what have you, right?
Right.
So when you met Jeremy's father, that was your friend's brother.
Yes.
Okay. So when you met him, what made you think he would be different from all the other guys that you were dating?
I think the difference was he was gentle, sis. His speech and how he loved me, how he showed that he loved me, at a young age, love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the other ones were, I mean, not saying that they weren't, they weren't good guys or whatever, but they still had issues. He had issues too, but it was just something that just captured my heart with Jeremy's dad. Yeah. And I was just like, I mean, he wrote poetry, sis. He was very intellectual.
Okay.
Let's put it like that. And I think, I love for a man to get into my brain.
So that what got you.
Yeah. And that's what he locked me in, because I was like, and he's sending me letters, writing me letters, writing poems. I had the letters on my walls, had the poems all on my walls. When he came in, it was, and not to mention he was fine. I mean, when I first met him, I was like, oh, and he looked good too. And he's 6 foot something, 6'2", something like that. 6'2", 6'3". So it was just, yeah. And then we just connected in a way. When he came to visit, we finally connected, and just talking to him and understanding, hearing him. I was able to hear his heart, and he was able to hear me. And in that conversation, that's how we began. So that's why I thought he was different than the others. At that time, I didn't feel that he was playing games.
Right.
I felt that he genuinely loved me.
Right. So guys, I'm telling you, I'm asking these questions because we building up to something. All these questions is a building moment, right? So you guys could get a little backdrop, because some of you didn't read the book.
Right.
But give you some backdrop without exposing everything in the book, right?
Right.
So sis, so he captured your heart because he was intellectual, and he was gentle, right? So at what point in that relationship have you started seeing red signs?
Ooh. I think when he first got out, because when I say when he got out, he was in a juvenile detention center. They would call it YCAT, right? And so he got out and he came home, and I think when he started hanging out more, because when he first got out, it was me, him, his family, my family, boom, that was it, right? And we was having just a wonderful time. But then he got out and he started hanging with the wrong people. He was was he a neighborhood crip?
Okay.
Now back then, I'm young. I'm not really understanding the dynamic to that at all, right? So he started hanging out, started being in the streets and everything. And then the initial thing that gave me the red flag was when somebody that was looking for him came to me. And at this time, I think I was pregnant. I was pregnant with Jeremy, and they came to me and they were looking for him. And they said, if we can't find him, we'll be back for you. I'm like, hold up, what is this boy doing out in these streets? I'm like, hold up, pump your brakes, hold up. At this time, though, I was already pregnant, and because he started being out more, hanging out with his cousins and then all the neighborhood. So then I was beginning to see some of the shift in him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He wasn't as how do I want to say it? He wasn't as loving. And I started to see he started to get mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and kind of like irritated more often than he had ever been.
Okay.
And just reckless. He started being reckless.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when that guy came to you and told you that, did you have a conversation with him about that?
I sure did.
What was his response?
I told him that he needed to get out. He said, I said, you need to get out of these streets. I said, you have a son on the way. And they didn't came looking for me because you out here, I don't know what you out here doing. And then of course, he said he was gonna fix it. He fixed it for a little while, and then he continued doing dumb junk. So yeah, we and then life began to just really shift. We moved out of Hilltop, and
You and him?
No, me, my mom, my little sister, my brother, we moved over to the north end. And so yeah, and at this point I was still pregnant with Jeremy, and mama had literally got to the point to where she didn't want him being around at all because he had begun to be reckless, and then mistreat me, talk crazy to me, and be very disrespectful. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So when you guys moved, how did you reconnect with Jeremy's dad? Because we building up, y'all. It's getting there. How did you reconnect with Jeremy's dad? Was it before Jeremy was born, or while you was in labor, or after?
Before. They actually came up to my school. I used to go to East High School, and his sister used to be my best friend, and she would come up, ride their bikes up to East High to see me, because at this point mama wouldn't allow them to come to the house at all to see me. So he would come to the school, she would come to the school, and then he began to get bold, and he came to the house. And that's what it would begin to be a real problem. And at the time, since I didn't understand, I knew that he was beginning to be reckless. But what I told mama was the damage was already done. I said his son is still on the way, so I can't just not allow him to see his child.
Right.
And so she refused, and it began to cause problems. So yeah, because she knew, she's like, I'm trying to protect you and my grandbaby, and he's reckless. He's disrespectful. But yeah, he would come to the house when he found out where we lived, and it got bad.
Okay. And so in that point, when it started getting bad, did you try to separate yourself from him, or were you afraid and just kept dealing with him?
I think I tried to separate. Yeah, I tried to separate myself as best as I could, and it just made him even more angry.
Okay. And
because
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, because I knew what mama was trying to do to protect us, and I was like, well, maybe after I have Jeremy, then he might have been, calmed himself down, and then we can reconvene and he can actually be a part of his son's life. But yeah, so I really separated myself. I tried to separate myself, and his sister would come up to the school, and she was like, he really wants to talk to you and see you. He missed you guys and all this. So yeah, it was like that.
Okay. And so when you had Jeremy, did you reconnect with him after that, or are you just allowed to like co-parent with him?
Yeah, allow the co-parent. Yep. I actually, says I had to because that, when I went into labor, mama had to lock it down. Nobody was able to be in there because of what was going on. Right. And so I finally told her, I need him in here. I need him to be able to be here so he can see his child be born. and he was the only one that was able to come in out of his family.
Okay.
Right. And so that's when the reconnect happened, not intentionally, but we're giving birth to our son. So I
Right.
need you. I'm going to allow you to be here. So that was how that reconnection happened. And then, yes, after that, then I had told him that we could co-parent if he would do right. So he started to do right, but then he started to act up again. So I'll let you continue.
So, okay, you guys, y'all got all that background. So, sis, because you have a big heart and you are very forgiving, right?
Right.
So, let's talk about was it when he kidnapped Jeremy, or were you there to drop Jeremy off to go to work, or was it you was just bringing Jeremy over to visit when he kidnapped Jeremy and you?
Oh Lord, yeah. I actually, at this point, I had already lived. I left and went to. I was in Colorado. I lived there, and so when he kidnapped Jeremy, I had decided to come back. And Jeremy, I think, shoot, how old was Jeremy? I was getting ready to have give birth to my baby girl, so Jeremy had to be like 2. When we went back to Kansas, because each time I would go, I wouldn't tell nobody.
Right.
Because when I left, I was just terrified because of what happened prior to me leaving Kansas, right, with him. So when I told Will, I told him, I said, when I go back, I want to allow him to see his son. And he was like, I don't think that's a good idea. And I was like, well, some time has passed. He hasn't been acting up. And that's the only reason why he's not able to see him, because he's doing dumb junk, right? And, so if he's doing right, then I do want him to still be a part of his son's life.
Right.
So got in contact. My cousin went with me. We went down to Kansas to visit, and I contacted them, and he was super excited, wanted to see his baby. His family. So they were all there at his house. We went over there and went into the house. They were all, super sweet, loving on Jeremy. And then he took him to the back to change his little boom boom, right? I'm sitting there waiting, sis. I'm like, it's been about 5 minutes. It's been about 10 minutes. And I'm getting antsy at this point, right? And I'm like, why is he not up back up front with my baby?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm feeling it so heavy. And I was like, something ain't right. So I gets up and I start walking to the back where he went to change Jeremy. No, his sister came and she was like, he's gone. Out the window. The window was up and he was gone. And he had took my baby. He had took him out the window. And sis, girl, at that point, I panicked. I was like, oh my goodness, he didn't took my baby. And I'm trying to be nice, and allow him to see his son. And he didn't took my baby. And then, they started talking, well, you shouldn't have took him from him and all this and this and that. I said, hold up, pump your brakes. Y'all were sitting in the house when he held that gun to my head.
I was getting to that.
Yes.
I was going to go back to that.
Okay. So y'all were there. And so how are you going to even form your mouth to say, why did I take him? To protect me and my son.
Right.
So, okay. Go ahead, sis.
Because I went there first before I went there because I wanted them to see why. Now I'm going back. So, okay. Yes. So tell us about how you got in a position for him to hold the gun to your head and what transpired to have him to do that.
Well, at this point, he was, this was before I had left, before I moved to Colorado. And one day I had went over to his house because him and his mom and sister would watch Jeremy while I worked, because I worked at McDonald's and I didn't get off until midnight. And so going over there, and he got at this point, he had gotten to the point where he was very jealous, and he did not want me around nobody else. He didn't want me to have no friends, nothing. Says I just need to. At that point, we were together.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. At that point, we were together, and I would bring him to him, and yeah, he got so angry because he didn't want me hanging out with my friend girl. Nothing. He told me that I needed to be at his house when I'm not working and I'm not home. I needed to be at his house with him and his family.
Oh,
that was it. And so when I didn't, then it became a problem.
mm-hmm.
And so one day I had went over there, and I'm like, I just finished getting my hair braided, because I was supposed to be over there probably like an hour prior to, so earlier than what I went over there, the time that I arrived, because it was longer for her to do my hair, to braid it. So she finished. I'm rushing. Oh, let me get Jeremy to his dad. Let me get to work. And so I get there, and it says he just had this look on his face. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with him? He's sitting on the porch waiting on me. So I pulls up, and I'm like, yeah. You know how you can feel something is completely off?
Yeah.
I was like, something is completely off, and I don't know what it is. So I got out, and I was looking at him. I was like, hey, talking to him or whatever. And he was like, didn't I tell you that you were supposed to have been here at XYZ time? And I was like, well, she had to finish my hair. And I said, I don't have time for this. I'm bringing Jeremy to y'all so I can go to work. I don't know what issue you got going on, but you need to fix it, because I got to get out of here. So sis left. I dropped Jeremy. His mom and sister got Jeremy, and he was still sitting on the porch. He ran up to my car, yelling at me, talking crazy. And I'm just like, this dude had lost his dang mind. I'll go to work, and when I get back, he'll be and calm down. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, so I'm driving to work, and I'm like, ooh, that was different. I mean, you could literally see it was demonic in his eyes, sis. They were like black. And I'm like, ooh, something ain't right. And so I went on to work, and I was just praying, sis. And I was like, oh, Father, I said, please fix it before I get off and go to get my baby.
Yes.
So fast forward, I'm, working, and I got to the job, and I told my friend, I said, girl, he acted a plum fool before I left when I dropped, the baby off. She said, what? She said, you do not need that, girl. That is toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have friends outside of him and his family, right? And so I was like, tell me about it, girl. I know, because I do. She was really my only friend that I hung out with.
Right.
Outside of, because we worked together. And so yeah, fast forward, midnight had came. We got off. We got off, and I went back to the house to get Jeremy. He's still sitting in a weird, funny position, girl. So I pulls up, and I was like, I need to get Jeremy. I said, you all right? No, I got something for you. I got something for you. And I was like, what? What? So now you still on this mess. So he's like, take your in the house now. So I'm like, no, give me my baby so I can go. We're standing outside. No, get in the house now. So I was like, okay, let me go in here so I can get my baby. So I go in the house. They're in the room with Jeremy. They barricaded in this room, sis. And I was like, Mom, they already knew. He was already on it, because he was already doing whatever he was doing to them.
Right.
And they're in the room, afraid, terrified of him. And so I'm like, y'all come out and bring me Jeremy. I need to get my son so I can go. Girl, he took my keys out of my hand. He threw them, and they went everywhere. My keys went, because I carry a lot of keys on my key ring, right? So keys went everywhere. And I'm like, oh, Father, I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but this dude is on something else. I said, is he on drugs or something? Because he didn't flipped out. And so he was like, I got something for your mother. You know, he cursing. And he went to the back room, and his sister, my ex-best friend, she come out for a minute. Run, go out the back door. Go now, run. And I was like, what? She said, run, Keisha, go. So I runs out the back door, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? So I'm literally running, sis, running for my life. And I'm trying to get to the payphone so I can call my daddy. Because at this point, I'm past my curfew. My curfew was 2 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, I believe, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm running, trying to get to the payphone. We didn't have cell phones and stuff back then. We had to go use the payphone. So I'm running, trying to get to the closest payphone to call my daddy to let him know that I was in danger. And so, sis, I was girl, and you know I used to be a track star, right? Running. The minute I turned around and I saw him behind me, it was like I lost every strength that was in me. Lost it. And I fell to the ground. And I was like, this dude about to kill me. I literally said that. I was like, he about to hurt me. He about to do something to me. I don't know what it is, but I just felt something wasn't right. Right. And so he came behind me and he hit me. Hit me in the back of my head. Get up. Get up. You think I'm MFing playing with you. And I'm like, oh, I'm praying the whole time now, mind you. I said, Father, please get me out of this. Please get me out of this. So he said, turn around, get up, turn around and go back to the house now. So I turned around, crying, walking back to the house. I'm walking slow. And he's like, hurry up. So sis, when we got to the back of their house, he went on the side of the house and he went and pulled that gun from the side of the house. And I said, this dude got a gun. He about to kill me. So at this point, I'm like, okay, just look, just do what he say do. Because he about to hurt you.
Right.
So he had this gun in his hand. It was a sawed-off shotgun. It wasn't no little bitty gun. It was a big gun. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, Father, what is going on? What did I do? That was so bad for him to do this to me. And I'm literally having a conversation. I'm walking and I get in the house and I sit on the couch. He said, no, get your mother to the room now. And I was like, no, I'm not going to no room. You're not going to get me in that room so I can't get out and do nothing. No, I'm not going to the room. What is wrong with you? Talk to me. So literally like, no, I said, you think I'm playing with you. So he draws the gun up and he said, go in the room now. And so I got up. I said, girl, go in this room. I'm 17 years old, y'all. Go in this room, terrified, before he kill you. Only thing I could see, sis, was Jeremy, little Jeremy. He just kept flashing in my mind. I said, when I'm gone, who the heck is gonna take care of my baby? Because he probably getting ready to kill me. And so I got in the room and I sat on the bed and he lowered the gun down and he started talking crazy. Yeah, how would you feel if I went over there and raped your friend? If I effed her and bump him? I mean, it was just nasty stuff that was coming from his mouth. What he was saying. Yeah, you act like you effing her. Are you munching carpet? And then, talking crazy, sis. Yeah. And I'm just like, dude, that is my friend. Why are you so jealous? And he was like, yeah, my family told me that you wasn't fooling with them when I was locked up. And you better than us now. So it was a whole bunch of stuff that he was saying, right? And then when he said that he should go over there and rape her and then kill her, I was like, this dude, you got some issues. So I was like, will you please? So at this point, since I lowered my head and I just went into prayer again. Am I talking to myself? I'm not talking to myself. I didn't say a word. He got quiet. And at this point, he held the gun back up to my head. And he said, I ought to blow your right now. And I'm just like, Father, I need you to get me out of this. I need you to get me out of this, please. If you get me out of this, I will never look back. I will never look back. I will take my son and I will go. I promise you, I will go and I won't look back. And so he had,
Take your time, sis.
So he lowered the gun down and he gave me the gun, sis. He said, you better kill me before I kill you. And I literally held that gun up. And I was literally getting ready to pull the trigger. And only thing I could think about was, if I go to prison, who's going to take care of my son? Where is he going to go? I knew I had my mom, my dad, but I'm talking about I was not going to be able to literally raise my child.
Right.
So I lowered the gun and I put it on the floor, and he didn't pick it back up. He just started talking crazy. He finally got tired. It was late in the morning. And then he finally laid down behind me on the bed, and he was like, lay down now. And I said, I'm not laying down. I'm ready to go. Can you just let me go, please? I said, I won't tell nobody what happened. I just need you to give me my son so I can go home. I know daddy's waiting on me. I know daddy is waiting on me, so I need to go. And he said, no, lay down. So laid down. And of course, he forced me to do something else with him. After that, he went to sleep and I was still up, of course. And then my pager went off, because I had a pager back then, and it was daddy. And so I rose up and I said, I need to go call daddy, because he didn't page me. He's looking for me. And if I don't come home, it's going to be a problem. So he allowed me to leave to go to the payphone and call daddy. And so I got to the payphone and I called daddy, and, crying. And daddy was like, hey, what you doing? He was like, you ain't come home. He was like, you ain't in jail or nothing. I said, no, daddy, I'm not in jail, but it's not good. He was like, well, shoot, you ain't locked up, so you doing all right. I said, no, daddy, it's not good. I said, I was in a bad place. And he was like, well, come on home and tell me what's going on. And so I said, okay. I just wanted to let you know I'm safe and I'll be home. So I went back to get Jeremy. I was adamant, sis, about going to get my baby. I was not leaving without him. So I went and got Jeremy. He finally, before I got back, he put all my keys back, found all of them, and then he gave them to me. And then they came out with Jeremy, and he allowed me to leave. And I said, Father, thank you, because I know you got me out of this. I know you're the one that got me out of it. And so after I left from there, I stopped at Mama's, and I told her what happened. And I talked to her and Grandma, and they both told me, yeah, you need to get out of here. You need to get out of Wichita before somebody winds up dead. And don't tell nobody, just go. So I called my auntie and them in Colorado, and I told them I needed them to come get me. And they came. They came down. They got on the road, probably like an hour after I talked to them, let them know what happened. And I went home, and that's when I told Daddy what happened to me. And he went flying out the house, sis. He went to go look for him. And I said, no, Daddy, don't go. Daddy, don't go. Daddy, don't go. Something probably going to happen to you. He went. He left. He was gone, sis, for probably, I want to say probably like 2, almost 3 hours. He was gone. By the time he got back, my car was packed up with my stuff. I packed my stuff up, packed Jeremy's stuff up. I was ready to roll when Daddy got back. He was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you doing? I said, I'm leaving. I got to get out of here before someone winds up hurt Daddy. No, I don't want you to go, though. I need to go. He's going to come looking for me because I'm not going back. His family will come looking for me, and I'm not going back. So I told Mama, Grandma, my daddy, my auntie, and my uncle. They made it there in probably like 6 hours. It didn't take no time. They got there. My car was already loaded up, and they took me to a hotel. And from that hotel, she said, don't call nobody. Don't do nothing. We're out of here in the morning. So that first thing, that next morning, we were gone, sis. And that's when I left Wichita, going to Colorado.
Good. And see, this is why I build it up for you guys, because I read the book and I know how traumatic that was.
Right.
So we're going to shift gears a little bit. So when you got to Colorado, how long was it you were in Colorado before you met my brother?
Shoot. Was it like a year? Almost a year before I met him. Yeah. Okay. I think it was about a year.
So bring us how y'all met, how that started.
Wow. That was okay. So we had me and my auntie we had our own apartment, and we were roommates, and he literally was in the apartment right across the hall from us. That's where he lived. And we would see him coming all the time. I would see him, he bumping, boom, bumping his music. And he loved him some Jodeci and Keith Sweat. So I was like, this man, no, he be bumping. You can hear him a mile away down the street. And, he had the woofers, the amp, all that, girl, his big speakers, all that. And so I'm looking out the window, my auntie looking out the window. And I'm like, he nice looking. Okay. Chocolate man in the military. And I had a pet peeve, sis. I was not fooling with no military man. I just wasn't, because I heard how trifling they were. They've not been all of them, but I heard about them, right? And so I was like, oh no, he in the service. I am not fooling with him. But he good looking though. And so I just kind of brushed it off. So every time we would literally see him, and Jeremy would literally run up to him. And he'd wrap his arms around us, because Jeremy was about 10 months or so at this time. So yeah, he wasn't even one. So he had wrapped his arms around his leg, and he was like, oh, hey, little man. He's like, hey. And Jeremy just like locked onto him. And I'm like, boy, you don't be talking to dang strangers like that. I said, sorry about that. And he was like, it's all right. I know you did that. I was like, I didn't do nothing. That's my baby. That's all him. And so we in passing, and he was, we're speaking to each other and everything. And he looking, I'm looking, and I'm like, let me get up out of here. So I get Jeremy, and then we go on about our business. And then one day he had left a little note on my car, because I had my name on my car. I had a little Cavalier back then. And I had my name on my car. So that's how he knew my name. And he left a note on there. Hey, Keisha, I know you seen me and seen me looking at you or whatever. He was like, if you want to talk, then here's my number. And then he put his name and his phone number, right? So it took me probably like a day or two to call him. And I was like, let me call this man and talk to him. Because I didn't want to look like I was thirsty, sis. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I ain't fooling with him like that, right? So like, I'm gonna wait, give him a little time, and then I'll hit him up. So I finally hit him up, and then an old man answered the phone. He said, hello? I was like, I'm looking for Will. And he was like, ain't no Will at this phone number. And I was like, oh, so sorry, sir. hung up the phone. I am so sorry, sir. So I hung up the phone real quick, like this. Well, he didn't gave me the wrong dang number, right? So I saw him come in later on that evening, and I was like, I called that number you left on my car, and it was obviously the wrong number. He was like, "What? Oh, my bad. What phone number did I put on there?" And I showed him the little card, his little note, and he was like, "Oh, I got one number wrong." And then he corrected it, and he was like, "I apologize." I was, yeah, some man talking about, "They know we'll live here." I'm like, oh, we both started cracking up. I said, "So you ain't even bit more right." Mm-mm. And so I called him, and that's when we started talking. Yep, getting to know one another and all that good stuff. But that's how we met.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See, we get into the good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Good stuff. You know, traumatic, good, right?
Right.
So, when y'all started talking, getting to know each other, how long was it before y'all really started dating?
I think it was probably a few months, sis, because we was talking and getting to know one another, and I know my birthday was coming up. I was getting ready to turn 18, and some net in here, but I was getting ready to turn 18 years old, and in talking to him and all of that, he was like, "I got something for you for your birthday," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you," So we went on after I got off from work. He had we had went up to he had took me to Palmer Park. Palmer Park, where you can go up to you can see the top of you can see Colorado Springs, the lights and everything at night. And he said, "I got something for you. I want to take you somewhere." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." So he came and got me. We went up there and we literally sat and talked for a little while. He gave me he gave me my birthday gift. My birthday gift was some green, black and white, no, black and green Reeboks.
Okay.
High tops, right? Girl, I had them high tops up until about probably like 3 years ago.
Oh.
Still all that time, but I never wore them. But I used to wear them, here and there, but they were still in good shape. I was like, "Well, I still got these dang green and black high tops that Mr. Greene gave me, our first date." But yeah, so we went there, and then afterwards we went and watched a movie, called a movie, and then after that we went back to, he took me home, and that's when we literally established that we were together when we were up at Garden of the Gods. He asked me to be with him.
Be his lady.
Be his lady, yeah.
So let's talk about the engagement and the wedding.
Lord.
The first one, not the second one. The first one.
So the first one, all right. So the first one, I don't think it was really an engagement. It was the first one was when because he had left to go to Cuba. Because he was on an assignment. He had to go to Cuba, and when we were talking and we were writing letters and everything, and from there, and that's when he told me he wanted me to be his wife. So when he got back, we was gonna look for rings and then we were gonna go from there. So I was like, okay. So, of course he was like, "Yeah, I want you to be my wife." And when he got back, we went and looked for rings. He got me an engagement ring, and we were engaged. That was that. So yeah.
All righty. So y'all got married, right?
Yeah.
And y'all moved out the apartment.
Yeah, actually, we didn't get married until probably 3 years later, sis.
Oh, okay.
In
so
between
it was an engagement.
well, yeah, it wasn't no official, where he proposing or whatever. It was an engagement though. But yeah, we were engaged, and in the middle of being engaged, that's when I just give you guys a backdrop of why I left to go to Kansas, because we were engaged, but then I found out that he was still fooling with his first daughter's mother. So it was a bunch of in between that happened. And we were living together. and everything. And I left. I told him we moved up to Gunnison so he could go to school. I could go to school. Ended up, he went to school. He went back to college for football. So in the midst of all this happening, me finding out that he was still fooling with his daughter's mother and a whole bunch of stuff had transpired. My dad came to Colorado to get me, put my car on the trailer. We drove left. So at this point, I went back to Kansas. I went with my mama. And bro said, "What a story, sis." Yeah, bro.
You got to read the book, babe.
Gotta read the book, so it'll go into more meat.
Right.
But so yeah, I left. Stopped in Colorado to see my cousin P first to tell her I was leaving. They were so upset. I didn't tell anybody. I gave him a few months to make it right. He refused to make it right, so I left and I went back to Kansas. And he said I started reading it last week. All right, bro. But so yeah, I left and went back, and in the midst of all that, now I'm back in Kansas with my mom. Didn't want to be, because I didn't want to be back in Wichita, right? I just didn't want to go there at all, and so got back with her. Was living my life, trying to find employment, sis. Now at this point, I had already had baby girl. It was me, Andrea, and Jeremy at this point when I went back to Kansas. And so now I'm like, okay, I have 2 children. I'm raising them by myself. Now I have to find employment so we can survive. Right. And so I went on a hunt. Went on a hunt and landed on 2 jobs. So I worked 2 jobs, taking care of my babies at home with mama. And then one day, one of my cousins was at mama's house when I got home from work. I worked at Office Depot, and then at night I worked at UPS. Mm-hmm. So I did both of those jobs, right? And then got home from UPS. I was beat, sis, and I was like, okay. So they took the kids. Mama and my cousin took the kids. And they were like, just get some rest. Just rest. We're going to take them for just a little bit. And then we'll be back. I said, okay. Sorry, y'all. It was a gnat. I can't do gnats. But so I sat there and I was like, man, ain't no kids in the house. Mom ain't in the house. My cousin gone. I said, oh, thank you, Lord. So I'm sitting there on the chair just relaxing, and I hear a knock on the door, and I'm like, who the heck is this at the door? Mama got her key. Why is she knocking?
Right.
Girl, it was Willie Greene.
Oh, he come to get his wife.
I said, no, you didn't. What do you want? Well, I wanted to come. I wanted to come and talk to you, and I wanted to come and be with my family. I miss my family. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. Because you would have fixed it before I left. What do you want? Girl, his friend brought him with all of his stuff and left. Oh. He was gone. I said, sir, I didn't say it was okay for you to come and stay. He was like, well, Mama already told me that I can come and stay.
So Mom hoodwinked you, took the key.
Yes. She
Mama.
That's true. You did that, didn't you? So she said, he was like, Mom already said that I could come and I can stay. And I was like, no, you're not finna do this to me again. Absolutely not. I said, at this point, since I think we were engaged for, it was like 3 years, had went by, and we went through all that stuff. And then when he came back, I let him stay, of course. Lord.
But back to you, girl.
Yeah, so I was like, all right. So we got to talking, he's back. He's working. I'm working. taking care of the family, and preparing so we can move and get our own place. And then he once again, he was like, I still want you to be my wife. And so this, you guys will, it'll do something to you. So I was super excited. I was like, okay, he finally doing right. And we getting ready to get married and all this. And then he changes his mind on me. He said, no, I think we need to wait. I said, no. See, now you're playing mind games. You're playing games with me. You're playing games. I got mad. I told mama. I called his mama. I told her. I said, your son then came and he said he wanted his family back and talking about he wanted us to get married. But now didn't change his mind. He want to wait. And she was like, oh, baby, let me talk to him. So she talked to him. And he, was getting cold feet or whatever. He was afraid. And so she told him basically, stop playing games with this girl. If this is not what you want, then you need to get out of there and leave her alone.
Right.
Mama, this is what I want. I just think that we just need some more time. And so me and him talked after I got the phone on, because I'd be quick to call his mom and tell on him in a minute, girl. Quick. Okay, sorry, y'all. This is not about to drive me crazy. But so he got off the phone and then he was like, come here, let me talk to you. So at this point, I had already called my daddy, and I told daddy that he had called our wedding off. We were just gonna get married we were gonna get married in the church. My grandma started making my dress, girl. I told grandma we wasn't getting married. Told my daddy we wouldn't get married. I was that angry. And then he changed his mind again. I think a couple of days that went past. Called my daddy back. And he was like, oh, shoot, I already canceled the reservation. So there ain't no reservation for no wedding. I was like, dang. I called grandma. Grandma stopped making my dress. So I literally went and found a dress. We went to the courthouse and got married. And I had my mama. Who else? Somebody else was my witness. I think my brother was the witness. So we got married in the courthouse. And then we had got our own place and all that. So that's how that started.
Okay.
And we were in Kansas when we got married.
So y'all got to read the book, because it's way more to this story than what we touched on, right? But right. I just want to give you guys a background of why this book came forth.
Yes.
And so when you guys understand, when you read the book, she went into more details than she did in the book with the questions I asked. So you'll have a knowledge of when you read it, be like, oh, this is that part. Okay. And then you a better understanding of what's going to unfold to the end.
Right.
This book is amazing, guys. Go get your book. Go get your book.
Go get your book.
No, we both got it. Go get your book.
Go get your book.
It's on Amazon, guys. And also, outside of this book, she have a magazine, guys. Her inaugural magazine is with her. It is full with all kinds of stuff to uplift, encourage, and touch on the book, but it is not the book. It's a magazine. I don't have that yet, but I will. So I have to
go to my website.
I have the electronic. I don't have the hard copy yet, but I will. But guys, if you like just this, if this touched you just a little bit, just from here, imagine what this book is going to do to you. It will change your life. I literally read this book in a day. It is a page turner. You will not want to put it down, because every time you get to a chapter, you be like, I'm gonna put it down. Be like, wait, I got to see what happened next. Oh, wait, I got to see what happened next. And just keep you going. And I'm gonna be honest. She dropped the website for you guys to go purchase the magazine, right?
Yes, that's my website. So everything is on there.
The website and the book is there. And the book is also on Amazon. So
And the link for you to go to Amazon is on my website. Click on the little button there, and it'll take you to the Amazon link.
Put your website across the thing, sis.
Okay.
So when they go back, they can see it, right?
Okay.
Guys, I'm telling you, this book is not going to disappoint. And guess what? My sister is one of the finalists in the author. Tell them about that, sis, because I'm gonna mess it up. But she one of the finalists, y'all, and I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, my book, She Touched the Hem of His Garment, is one of the finalists for the International Impact Author of the Year Book Award 2026. So my memoir is a finalist. They chose my book as one of the finalists. So we got invited to the gala in October. And then we'll find out at the gala in Hollywood who the author of the year is. So it's not too late to vote either. I have that on my website also. The end of August is the last for people to vote for my memoir. So y'all go
vote for my sister book.
My book.
Yes. And I'm telling you,
have it already.
If you don't have it, buy it. Even if you don't have it, go vote. Buy the book and you will not be disappointed. I promise you guys. That's a promise I'm making to y'all. Y'all will love this book. I love to read, and this was a page turner. I love to read. And this book captures you from the moment you read it. It's like, you know how some books start off slow and you be like, oh God.
Right.
This book, y'all, I'm telling y'all, go get the book. You will not regret it.
Right.
That's all I have.
Sis.
Got anything last words you want to say to the audience?
Hold on a second, sis. I was trying to put this up for everybody.
Oh, the website.
Let me see if it'll do it. Yeah, let's see if it'll do it for us. There you go. Yes. So that's the website, livinglifeoutloudllc.com, for you to actually go. And everything is on there. Literally, you can go and you can purchase the magazine. You can purchase the book. You go to the link that you can purchase the book. But yeah, it's been a journey. God is so faithful. He wanted me to be faithful, and just to read, says just for I want to read the very I want you guys to hear this from my book. And then when sis say when the book first starts, it captures you, and that's because the dedication is when I start my book, right? And the dedication is to my son, Jeremy. We lost him October of 2019, and we lost him. He was 25, and my memoir is dedicated to my son. And you guys, I know it will bless you. Yes. So sis is holding it up, but I'm going to actually read it to you before we close this out, because there's so much that we didn't touch, we didn't unpack. But you have to go and purchase this book. This is my masterpiece, and I was obedient because God wanted me to do this. And he told me, because of your story, someone else will have a permission slip to live, but you got to do it. Terrified and all, because I didn't want to put my stuff out there, right? But I knew I needed to help somebody else get to the other side of what they had endured. Today, you guys, going through all of that, me and my ex-husband are now husband and wife again after being divorced for 14 years. Yeah, okay. So she gonna caveat on that. But let me just read this to you guys. I pray you guys go and get the book. But if you do not, let me read this dedication to you. Gone but never forgotten, Jeremy Lee Fanning Jr., and his label was 100 Music, LLC. The author dedicates this book to everyone who's endured much but still searches for a way to get up and move forward. When life feels like it keeps trying to knock you down and you find it hard to get back up, you may need a reminder of how to continue, even when the fiery darts of the enemy distract you from your assignment and try to take you completely out. Never give up on yourself, because on the other side of your bend is your strength, your perseverance, your resilience, and your persistence. Your get back up is someone else's hope, freedom, deliverance, and breakthrough. This book is to help you acknowledge where you may be in life at this very moment. God desires to encourage you through my journey. My prayer is that the words on these pages will penetrate your core like never before and propel you to go beyond your right now into the destiny God has already set forth before you. Before God created you, he knew you and ordained you to do great things so you could leave your imprint while here on the earth. One thing I know is that if I can do it, so can you. The quote, "It takes a village," is why I am here. I want to share my testimony of how I overcame every dart that was thrown at me that was designed to destroy me. There were disappointments, depression, anxiety, worry, confusion, pain, divorce, rejection, abuse, and traumatic grief. After walking through those valleys in my life, I was able to break through, rediscover who I am, and step into genuine joy and freedom. I am no longer just existing. I am living my life with purpose and on purpose. And I am reinventing myself with my Heavenly Father's help. I also dedicate this book to my son, the late and great Jeremy Lee Fanning Jr., aka Heaven. Jeremy had always been my biggest supporter, encouraging me to keep being great. For everything God put on the inside of me, I promised to share with the world to help the next person be the greatest version of themselves. My son would always say, you got this, Mom Deuce. Fix your crown and go and change the world, and always keep it 100. That is my dedication. When you first start the book, and that's what Sis was saying, when you first start the book, we go in hot. Yes. And it's first dedicating it to my baby. Through it all. And he didn't get to see where we at today. He sees where we at today. His spirit does. Praise God. But physically, before he left this earth, he did tell me that out of all people that for me to be back with, that he would have wanted me and Will to be back together, because he knew that Will would take care of me and that he will love me the way that I needed to be loved this go around. And at the time I was in so much denial. I said, no, sir. Me and Will not get back together. He got his life and I got mine. But you will see in the very back of this book, says, tell them what the last thing it says on page 457.
457. Give me time to get there, y'all. 457 said reestablish December 2024. And I'm going to show y'all the picture, right? That is her and my brother Will's wedding picture. They got back together. They remarried December 2024. And let me tell y'all, that journey she went through, all the heartaches, all the disappointments, came out on the other side victorious, happy, free, and she know who she is and who she is. She's here on purpose and for a purpose. And I could tell y'all this, and I'm a witness to this relationship. It is beautiful. It is God ordained. And my sister be glowing and smiling. I have never seen her so happy. But that's what I was going to touch on at the end. So when you guys read all, this is why she says, she touched the hem of his garment. It's time to stop bleeding, because all the stuff that she went through, she reached for our Father's hem, and she stopped bleeding, and now she found joy, right? So it's symbolic to the woman with the issue of blood, because all the stuff my sis went through, and she's a strong woman, because some people would have folded.
Right.
Some people would have gave up, but because she knew who her Father was, she knew he had her, and she didn't give up, because she knew just as much love as she give out, God had someone to love her back.
Right.
She wasn't denial about who that somebody was, because I told her they were going to get back together, but she told me no. But I said, okay, let's see what our Father say. And that's what our Father said. And he's much better. They had that time to separate. And like I told her, God separated them for that time so he could work on my brother and he could work on my sister. So when they come back together, it's not the Sam, Will, and Keisha. They're
right.
different, and it's better. So if you out there and you're going through some stuff, don't give up on love. God has someone there for you. Okay? You have to keep believing, keep praying, and just believe on what the Father says, and your soulmate gonna be there. You may be going through an abusive relationship right now, thinking you damaged goods. Read this book, because my sister's not damaged good. Look at her.
Come on.
Look at her.
That's
y'all.
right.
She's been through hell and back. Look at the glow on her face. Don't tell me what my Father can't do. So in your trying times, you may be going through abuse, addiction, whatever you're going through, give it to our Father. He will see you through.
Come on.
That's all I got for y'all, because y'all about to start making me preaching here.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Touch the hem of his garment, right? And he just had to remind me, sis, that you've been touching my garment your whole life.
Yes.
So you are already healed.
And Mom, I'm so proud of her too. I
thank you, Mama. I was just gonna say thank you, Mama.
Yeah.
Thank you, sis. Yes. And what she say? Yes, yes, yes. She touched it. Yeah,
Yes.
I touch it every single day. So yeah, and that's a part of my ministry, and to encourage and to build up and to help you heal, to encourage you to break forth and break forth into the plan and purpose that God has for you, and to restore you back to him so that he can restore you back to your original plan and purpose as well.
Lord.
Yeah. So God is faithful and he's so good. Thank you, sis. You had me tearing up, girl, but yeah, it will bless you. And it's pretty thick, but it's my life up until almost 2 years ago.
And the story still ain't finished being written. Just to let you know.
Continued. Yes. Anything, sister, you want to open it up really quick? Does anybody have
any questions? Who was on here listening? Any comments? Any questions? The floor is yours. So get the typing. We're gonna give you time to type whatever you want to ask the author.
Yes.
Or whatever comment you have for the author. We will gladly accept that. So go ahead on and type.
Right.
Just give them a few minutes, sis, to get what they got to say, because it might be a paragraph or two.
Right.
We it all.
We waiting.
You patiently waiting.
Yes. But yep, that was good, sis. I appreciate that, honey. And then I love how we ended with when we got married, because there's so much more. So you guys will be you won't have to go out and get this book.
Right.
Let's see what
I got a little clarity from this, and thanks for sharing, my sis.
Yes.
Well, babe, I can tell you this. You got a little clarity, but you're going to get more when you finish reading this book. Yeah. And if you already started reading last week, I'm sure you read the beginning. Her faith and foundation. I don't know if you got to the part with Jeremy's biological dad, but as you continue to read, you're going to get more understanding of your sis and what she went through, and this conversation gonna help enlighten you a little bit more as you read.
Yeah.
Bless. Amen. Amen. Yes, Mama. Bless.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Mama.
Oh, you
He said,
did. You got to the
I
part
did.
with Jeremy's biological dad. Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's so much more, baby. You just got to keep reading. But since you at that point, and you know we discussed a lot, and it's what sis told you is more than what's in the book. So you'll have a deeper understanding when you finish that chapter. But then going forth after that, you will everything we talked about builds on that, so you'll have more understanding.
Yeah, I was actually, sis, I was talking to a lady, because I love to hear how it encourages everybody. And I'm like, send it to me so I can share with people. Y'all getting this good, and y'all not sending it to me. So I can share. I know you get you share. But she was like, I literally was able to see, because she calls me hummingbird. They're native, right? She said, I said, well, you'll be able to understand how this hummingbird came forth, right? And so she said she literally was reading my book. She finished it in 2 days too, sis.
Well, I finished in a day, not two.
And yeah, she finished in 2 days. But she said that she could literally see the progression. She said the way you set your book up, the progression from when you were a little girl all the way up to now was amazing. How this it was amazing. She said, and every step of the way, I was able to see God's hands on you. He was there with you the whole time.
The whole time.
I said the whole time.
Yep. From since she was born. Before she was born, God was with her. And like I told you, sis, when I read the book, reading the book, I felt like I was walking through it with you. Like I was literally in the book, walking beside you in your journey.
Right.
That's how good the book was, y'all. I like to escape in the book and put myself there. Mm-hmm. And this book did that for me. I don't read some books where I didn't escape and was in the book. I just read the book and comprehended it. But this book, actually, I felt like I was there with you in the journey.
Yeah, that's good. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted you guys in the journey, the pages of the story, the journey, sis, because I say all the time, people see the glory, but they don't know the story.
Well, they know the story now.
Right. When you're able to walk through that and you're in that story with me, in my life journey with me, then it's like, OMG. I felt like that's what sis said. I felt like I was right there with you.
Baby,
said, I want to fight with you and everything.
Exactly. I was going to say, I felt like I want to fight and shooting myself and do. I was like, what? I'm talking like I'm there. I'm like, oh no, you didn't. Like,
right.
Like I was there. I'm like, this is a book. I ain't even there. What? They can't hear me. But
right.
That you get so lost and escape, like you actually there. You forget you're reading the book.
Right.
But I'll tell you one thing, since the movie is coming.
Come on.
The movie and this book is
I receive it. Yeah. I receive that, sis. Because it is.
Said Tyler Perry, but it may be another one.
It might be
Daniels. It could be 50 Cent. I mean, we got a lot of Kim Fields. We got a lot of producers out there.
Come on.
But it's going to be a movie, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't know who the producer going to be.
Right.
It's going to be a movie.
Yes, ma'am. I receive that. In Jesus' mighty name, I receive it.
So are y'all full, y'all? Are y'all full? Tell me, just say yes. If you full, just type yes.
Yes.
Well, you say yes, sis.
Right. I just pray and bless y'all. What little bit you have heard, if you have not been able to glean from the pages of the chapters of my life. But trust me, you will. And if there's things that you're going through or that somebody else is going through, one of my good friends, I used to work with him. He purchased 5 or 6 of my books and he literally gave them to some people that were in need. And he said, sis, I gave them your book. He said, because I read it and it will change the trajectory of their lives as well. So he purchased the book and he sent it to them.
Amen.
And they begin to read. And I'm like, that's what God wants.
Amen.
He wants people to read and to glean from that. Because in my book, you guys, there's in several places, I leave notes in there.
Yes.
There's encouraging notes to encourage you, to build you up, and to remind you of, things that I might have endured. You do better. When you do better, you do better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's all through the book, I'm encouraging you as well. I have a few of my poems in the book as well. So it's a lot in there that it will bless you.
Mom says she's full, but I can tell y'all that I'm gonna piggyback on this, and then we're gonna let y'all go for real.
Yes. Yes.
He bought 5 books. Let me tell y'all something. I had my birthday party in May. My sister blessed one of the guests with the book. In doing so, blessing one of the guests, the other guests purchased book because they read just the back of the book. This.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, how I get a book? How can I purchase this? And they purchased it right then and there. Just reading the back of the book encouraged them that much. They bought the book.
Yes.
That's just telling y'all how good this book is, okay? So with that being said, I love you all. We do love y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in every time we log on.
Yes.
Very grateful and humble for each and every one of y'all.
Yes. Thank y'all.
Yes.
And we love you. Until next time.
Bye.
Later.